Hey YouTube, welcome to a new video. Today's review is on the BMW X5. So in today's video, I'm going to give a little bit more detail on the features and functions of the car and the driving characteristics. So right now we are checking the exterior characteristics of the car, and let's go to the headlights. So these headlights are laser LED headlamps. As you can see, you will be able to find a blue lining on them. So if you see a BMW with that blue lining on the headlights, then that means it is a laser LED headlamp. It has 600 meters range, and also it is adaptive, so it can do the high beam and low beam all by itself, and also it can turn. Individually, it can shut down its LEDs for the opposite traffic so that it doesn't glare them also. And then the active Airstream kidney grills. So these kidney grills, they open and close depending on the engine's temperature. So once the engine reaches its optimum temperature, the grill closes. So what happens is that this increases the aerodynamic efficiency of the car. So instead of having an open mouth, it can easily cut through air at high speeds, and thus increasing the aerodynamic efficiency of the car. And if you see in the front, the bumpers have the sensors and also the fisheye camera. So why do they call the fisheye camera? It can see 180 degrees. So from that one camera, it can see the complete front end. And right now, while checking the side profile of the car, you'll be able to notice the wheels first. So these are the wheels which come for the X-Line variant, which is a 275/45 R20. Even the 40i gets 20-inch wheels, but the design is different. They come with run flat tire system, which as any BMW can drive at 80 kilometers per hour speed up to 80 kilometers with the zero pressure inside them. The one thing you would notice in a BMW is that you would get a air breather in here. So my hand is passing through this. So this is a vent which reduces the air turbulence inside the wheel arches. And you also get a footboard which helps you in getting inside the car easily. So all you need to do is step on it and then get inside for easier access. The doors are soft close, so if you just leave it close to the body, it pulls itself and locks it. So at the rear of the car, the rear tail lamps are also completely LEDs, and they have a 3D design structure in them. You have two functional exhaust tailpipes, and the rear camera and the rear sensors are also visible. The car comes with comfort access system, so the key is inside my pocket right now. So once I just go near the car, the doors unlock for me. So all I need to do is I can just keep the keys in my pocket itself. At the same way, when I walk away from the car, it locks just like that. So in case you're feeling insecure about this feature, then you can turn this function off and have the comfort access system in another way, which I'll show it to you right now. So right now I'm inside the car. As I was mentioning about the comfort access system, you'll find it in the settings. So all I need to do is I untick the lock by leaving and unlock by approaching. So I'll show you what the change is going to be like. So right now, as I disengage that function, so now what happens if I come nearby or if I walk away from the car, the key still being in my pocket, it is not going to lock or unlock. So now the other way I can do this by keeping the keys in my pocket itself. Right now you can notice that the doors are locked, and let's say if I just put my hand onto the handle, you'll be able to notice that the doors are unlocked. And the same way, if I want to lock, all I need to do is there are 3 lines on this handle, and that is common in all the handles. All I need to do is tap on that, and that locks the door. So these are the 2 ways you can use comfort access system in this car. The comfort access system can also be used to open the tailgate. All I need to do is a kick action. So I just do that, and the doors completely open for me. So here, what you notice are these rubber trails underneath. So what are they used for? So let's say you have luggage at the back and you're in a twisty road, the luggage keeps getting thrown off here and there. So now what happens is that when your vehicle starts moving, these rubber rails raise up by 3 mm. So this locks your luggage in space and it doesn't let it rattle here and there. Another thing is this tray which you find over here. So this tray is electric. So once the door closes, it automatically comes and fills up the space. Or let's say you don't want that, you can completely hide it underneath the panel. You have these handles which can fold down the seats and increase the space, which is again 40-20 and 40 split. And then you have the space saver wheel underneath the plank. And again, to close the doors, you can use the button, or I can again use the kick function and close the tailgates. So right now we are checking the interior characteristics of the car, and again the steering wheel, just like any other BMW. You have the cruise control and the speed limiter option on the left hand side of the steering wheel, and the media controls on the right hand side. You have the paddle shifters, the left hand side for downshift and the right hand side for upshift. You have the digital instrument cluster. So these are ID7, so you get various information on them. So the middle of the screen would be your navigation input, left hand side for your speed, and the right hand side gives you various other informations also. So for example, when I press this button on the steering wheel, you'll be able to notice that it changes the mode of music it needs. And again, to get further more information, when you press the BC on this left stalk, you would get other information like your kilometers, your power and torque output, your G-force meter, and various information as such. The main display is again a touchscreen system. So you have widgets and the main icons on the left hand side of the screen. You have gesture control in this. So I can increase the volume, I can decrease the volume, and there are features like wherein I can answer the call, I can disconnect the call, I can change stations, which I can just do this or the previous station like that. And again, if I need a 360-degree view around my car, I can open the camera view for the car, and I need to go on the left hand side for 3D view. So right now on this view, all I need to do is pinch and move. So this shows me the 360-degree view of the car. And just below the main screen, you will have the AC controls, you have the fast dial switches, you have a wireless charging point and a small space over here. You have two cup holders which can be used as a cup holder or as an ashtray over here. You have a USB port. Coming down, you have a crystal knob for your gear shifter. You have a crystal knob for your iDrive system. You have the fast dial buttons over there. This one is for your air suspension system. You can toggle it down or top to increase or decrease the ride height. And you have the hill descent control, an electric parking brake, the auto hold feature, the different driving modes, the parking button. You have the camera to just switch on the camera. This is for the traction control. This is the engine start stop, and this is to switch on or switch off the engine start stop function. So the crystals inside the cabin are on the iDrive knob, on the crystal gear shifter, the start stop button, and also on the volume knob. And below the handrest, you have a decent amount of space with a light lid for it. You have a C-port charger point. Right now we are seated at the rear of the car, and the first thing you would notice is the AC controls. So this being a 4-zone AC, you have the individual AC controls at the back, and also a small space wherein you can keep your mobile phones as such, and a 12-volt charging point also. And at the back of the rear seats, you have a C-port charger and also a holder wherein you can fix an accessories like an iPad holder or a coat hanger, anything as such. The doors have sun blinders on them. The ambient lightings also run at the rear. And checking out the roof, you have a panoramic sunroof, and the spots, what you notice, they are also a part of the ambient lights. So these spots light up and they are more visible at night. So right now we are checking the driving characteristics of this car and we are in comfort mode. Car is absolutely silent, it's very smooth and very composed. The steering feels very light, the gear changes much sooner so that everything is on the maximum of comfort for you. And the same thing in Eco Pro mode, it reduces on the power output so that you get a much more fuel efficiency out of the car. And in sports mode, the car just becomes more firm and the steering becomes more sharp, it becomes more twitchy, so you get more control on the car. The car is by standard a four-wheel drive system which is rear wheel biased. So most of the time the power is being sent to the rear of the car. So the rear wheels are pushing them, and only when there is a position wherein traction is needed more at the front, it can completely transfer the force to the front wheels. The thing is that the off-roading system in this, or the four-wheel drive system in this, has a ratio of 0:100. So what that means is that it can transfer complete power just to one axle depending upon where it needs traction. For example, let's say the rear does not have traction at all and the front has traction. It can completely transfer all the power from the engine to the front wheels. So this also helps you in getting off-road in a much more easier way. The car comes with a 3-liter 6-cylinder straight 6 engine. It gives out 265 bhp and 620 Newton meters of torque. And the mileage of this car is told to be, as per AirAI, at 13.38 kilometers per liter. This diesel engine can do a 0 to 100 in just 6.5 seconds. So that's how well refined this engine is. Apart from that, the car is absolutely wonderful to drive in a normal highway or normal roads like this. It is beautiful in sport mode, it is beautiful and very comfortable when you're in comfort mode. If you're being chauffeur driven, you have a decent amount of leg space and headroom at the back and you can enjoy the drive then too. It's a proper 5-seater, I would say, because even the mid section of the rear seat, it's pretty flat so that the 5th person can also be accommodated pretty comfortably in this car. All in all, a wonderful car. I'll see you guys in another video with another car. That's it from me. Thank you.